up, Clack of the Geek here, and welcome to another one of my Bond rankings, where I rank all the films of a particular actor. And this is the last one that I'm going to be doing of these, because obviously I've done Connery, Moore, Lazenby, Dalton, and I did Daniel Craig when No Time to Die came out, so we only got Pierce Brosnan left to do, so let's do it. So Pierce Brosnan had 4 Bond films, from GoldenEye to Die Another Day, across 7 years, and I think overall his tenure is really good and quite underrated, because I think it's one film in particular which is kind of the stinker, and it kind of clouds people's judgment of his other films. But I think there is a lot to be said about his other films. I think they do have a lot of merit that I think can go unnoticed at times. Obviously, this is bringing Bond out of the Cold War, into a modern sort of resetting in society, and I do really appreciate that. It's still got the feeling of old Bond films, but it plays with the formula a bit. It does different things with its stories and is really, really good stuff, but it does have more of a lighter sort of edge to it, a bit like it's almost like a modern Roger Moore, this era. So I would like to see this in the next era of Bond, whoever takes over from Craig. So let's rank all of his films from worst to best, and it's just my opinion as well. In last place, by a country mile, Die Another Day. This film is bad. From the second the film starts with the gun barrel, you've got the bloody bullet the CGI bullet that comes right to the camera. It's just non-stop from there. It's just bad. It's the 40th anniversary for Bond, and you've got all these obnoxious references to the past. Like, you've got, like Skyfall does it really well. You've got the DB5 back, and you've got a couple of throwaway lines like the pen from GoldenEye and whatnot. This film, you've got, look at these Q-branch gadgets with a jetpack from Thunderball, and Halle Berry's coming out of the water like Ursula Andress did, and there's a laser from Goldfinger, and the bloody space thing from GoldenEye, and it's just ridiculous and obnoxious. The plot is really nothing special. The dialogue is cringeworthy. Even Brosnan can't salvage it. Performances from certain actors, especially whoever's playing Gustav Graves, he's bad, and he's just a bad villain, I think, anyway. And other characters like Halle Berry's Jinx I don't really like, and the other characters often just blur into the background for me. I just don't remember them. The CGI is appallingly bad. It's aged horrifically, and stuff like the windsurfing scene. I mean, the windsurfing, I'm just saying that out loud. Windsurfing, where he's bloody surfing, parachuting over against a bloody tsunami. What? The bit when Gustav Graves got the Iron Man armour on and he's like electrocuting Bond like he's Emperor Palpatine. I mean, that is the jump the shark moment from Bond for me. That is the straw that broke the camel's back. That is the point where it goes too far. That is the step too far in terms of silliness. I like silly Bond, but that is going too far. And there's some things in this film which have aged like really badly. Like, I mean, you've got the, Gustav Graves, he starts the film as a Korean general guy, has this device that turns him into a white guy. I mean, however, there are some good things in this film. I mean, you've got a really good pre-credit scene with the hovercraft. I really like that sequence. You've got that amazing car chase between the Bond and Zal, the Aston Martin Jaguar one. That's phenomenal. Oh yeah, I don't mind the invisible car that much. Yeah, you can kill me after this. And Rosamund Pike as Miranda Frost, she's fantastic. She's a brilliant actor anyway. She gives a great performance, a great character, great double agent character, and she just brings a real energy to the film. A bit like Fiona in Thunderball, she's ace. But aside from that, this film, just no. In third place, The World Is Not Enough. A very good film, but just not one that I enjoy as much as a lot of the other Bond films. Pierce Brosnan gives probably his best performance as Bond in this film. I mean, he's given some really meaty, weighty stuff to, get his teeth into, and it's very Fleming in a sense. This is closest to Fleming's Bond, I would say, in terms of his films. Electra King, played by Sophie Marceau, she is fantastic. The fact that the Bond girl turns out to be the main Bond villain, but that's a stroke of genius, and it's that kind of like playing with the formula, doing different things with it. That's what I really love about Brosnan's era, and I think it's really good. Although it does kind of mean that Robert Carlyle's Renard character is a bit kind of overshadowed afterwards, so yeah. You've also got Denise Richards as Christmas Jones. She's pretty miscast and also just really cringy and quite annoying, and she does drag the film down, definitely. I also think the direction is a bit weak. Like, a kind of, like, sort of the first unit stuff with like the talky bits and like the second unit action stuff, I don't think it's blended in as well as a lot of other Bond films do. Obviously, first and second unit directors, they don't blend as seamlessly, I don't think, as opposed to some other ones. I think the film kind of peaks a bit too early, like that incredible pre-credit scene, which is is it the longest? It's one of the longest. I think at a time it was. But the amazing boat chase across the Thames, it's so bloody good. I like some of the other returning characters from previous Brosnan films. You've got people like Colin Salmon and Michael Kitchen and Robbie Coltrane back from previous Brosnan films, and it kind of nice bit of continuity there. But you don't need to watch the others to understand. They just but it works. It's a good bit of continuity. But yeah, overall it's a good film. It's quite classic. It does evoke the feeling of classic Bond film, especially down with the song. I actually really like The World Is Not Enough song. I think it's a very good, very sort of classic-y Bond song. But overall, it's not the most enjoyable Bond film in my opinion. In second place, Tomorrow Never Dies. I reviewed this as a part of my Bond marathon series that I did, but this film, I had kind of low expectations going into it because I didn't think I'd think that much of it. Coming out of it, along with Moonraker and Octopussy, probably one of the most entertaining Bond films that I've ever seen. Pierce Brosnan is once again on fine form. He's excellent. Jonathan Pryce as Elliot Carver, the villain, he's one of the absolute best. The media, he's essentially Rupert Murdoch as a Bond villain, like this media mogul who's kind of infiltrating behind the scenes, kind of a sneaky third party. I think he's phenomenal, and Elliot Carver just chews up the scene around him, and he's just phenomenal. One of my favourites of all time. Probably the best Brosnan era villain, maybe. I don't know, because there's so many great ones in his era. Wai Lin is a really good Bond girl, and when I said in my review, I said that I wasn't too fussed on the Bond girls. I think Wai Lin is a very good character. It was more sort of chemistry between her and Brosnan that I didn't quite buy, but I think as a character, she's a tough action hero. Well, I feel like they were going to do like a spin-off with her. That would have been pretty cool, but yeah, she's a really good Bond girl. Paris Carver, I like her idea. The idea is brilliant. A former lover of Bond meeting up again. Really good idea, but I don't think it's executed massively well. She's in it much anyway, so you can't get massively attached. The story, as I said, it's really good. This sort of third party with the media mogul kind of stuff is really great, and the whole sort of British and China naval sort of kind of conflicts, like the sort of the rising tension. It's such a great story, and I really love it. And the action in this film is phenomenal. The multi-story BMW chase, the remote control BMW, I adore that sequence. It's just so much fun. It's so much fun, and it's so well done. The stuff on Elliot Carver's base, his tanker thing is really good. The motorbike chase in, I can't remember, was it Austria? I think it was Austria. But the motorbike chase with Bond and Wai Lin, that's brilliant. And it's just an absolute delight, and a proper fun Roger Moore kind of romp. And it's again like Moonraker and Octopussy for me, one of those ones that I could watch over and over again and just never get bored of, and it's just amazing. And at number 1, GoldenEye, his first film and one of the absolute best in the entire franchise, top 5 easily. It's the best Bond introduction film, beats all the others, beats Dr. No, beats Live and Let Die, beats The Living Daylights, beats Casino Royale, beats them all, easy. Brosnan just feels effortless in this, from the moment he just, he does that massive bungee jump at the beginning, and it was an incredible stunt, I should say, but phenomenal. He's absolutely effortless in this part. He's suave, he's cool, he's comedic, but he's also got some real, dramatic weight, especially when it comes to when he's interacting with Sean Bean's character. The villains in this film are amazing. Sean Bean as a former 00 agent, he's fantastic, and Bean and Brosnan, they have such great chemistry, and it really brings out some real sort of weight, and so it brings out a lot within their characters and their stories and whatnot. It creates more tension because it's he's a former 00 agent. He knows all the tricks. He knows about Q branch gadgets. He knows about Bond. He can manipulate. It creates so much more tension about how is Bond going to defeat the villain. Famke Janssen as Xenia Onatopp is bizarre, but a really good character. She kills people between her legs with asphyxiation and takes a lot of pleasure in doing so. I think it's really good, and it's kind of almost commentary on how kind of ridiculous Bond's shenanigans were in the older films. Kind of sort of this very exaggerated, more sexual character, and it kind of shows, how kind of a bit ridiculous it was in the older films. That's what I love about GoldenEye. It brings Bond, it's a perfect reintroduction, perfect reinvention of it, and kind of, updates it from modern age, but still keeps it in line with what you know and love about Bond. And I said about, showing how ridiculous it was in the older film, it's not saying that, you can't have the romantic stuff. I mean, you got Bond and Natalia, who I don't think is one of the best Bond girls, but she's still I really like her. You got Alan Cumming as Boris, who is just pure delight. He's proper campy, but he's great, and you know his quotes, "I am invincible," is just amazing. Then you got Oromov, the kind of general guy. He's probably the weakest of this antagonist, but he's still really good, and he's not in it as much as the others, but I think he's good. I kind of a good like red herring villain at the start. All the other characters are great. The plot is really great. You know, this space laser is really good, but intertwined with the personal thing with Bond and Alex Riley and Sean Bean's character. I love those kind of stories. You know, big scale stuff intertwined with very personal stuff. The action is phenomenal. The tank chase is incredible. The final battle, you know, it's just brilliant. It is just a pure delight to watch every single time. I rewatched a bit of it recently when it was on TV. I stuck it on midway through, and I just watched the whole thing till the end because it was just so bloody good. And that was my ranking. Hope you enjoyed it. I mean, as you can see, his films do get progressively worse as time goes on, but still, they're really good, and that's the end of these like mini Bond rankings. So I hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to like, subscribe. What do you think of Brosnan's era? What do you think of his films? Rank them in the comments. Let me know all of that in the comments below. And this Clack the Geek, signing out.